Well, hello, this is Leah. Welcome back to Leah Janine Nichols' YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about the 5 myths about why you shouldn't date. And I think that's part of that, I don't know, waiting on God moment. It's like you got to keep waiting. So, anyway. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's very important. Okay, so the 5 myths are God will drop you a man. I used to talk to my mom about that. That's number 1. I think that's my favorite one. God will just drop you down a man. You're like, ooh, okay, he'll drop it down for me. That'll be awesome. I was like, well, maybe it'd be the mailman. Maybe it'd be the rug guy. Maybe it'll be Stanley Steamer. Whatever it is. I was like, and then another thing is when you get spiritual or something, that the guy will just magically appear. You do all the, cross your T's and dot your I's, I think that's sometimes in church is that you do all these set of rules and you do everything right and it'll happen. And I think that's what happened to my ex-boyfriend, Curtis, is that he was explaining to me how he did everything right. And then it still exploded. He married a crazy woman. Hopefully he's not watching this. But anyway, he married a crazy woman. And he just kind of explained to me you can do all the right things spiritually and still kind of not get the right thing. But I'm just saying women are taught, if we do the spiritual things, because we're supposed to be kind of spiritually in tune. Imagine Adam and Eve. Eve was all the Lord told us not to eat of that fruit, and he's all I'll do my own thing, woman. I'll do my own thing, woman. So we do have that spiritual mindset of where we're trying to be spiritually in tune, emotionally in tune, and so it kind of hurts when we realize we do all that, we jump through God, we consider God's spiritual hoops for our life, and we don't still get it right, or we don't get the desired effect of the right relationship, the right spouse, the right job. Right now I'm starting with the right job. But anyway, it's just things that happen that you think, well, I did all this spiritual stuff, therefore I should get, or maybe not even get, I should receive what God has for me, or that it should be right without any problems. But then that kind of goes against it with James, or Paul, when he says, count it all joy when I go through various trials and tribulations. So we can go through all that spiritual stuff and think, well, God, where are you? So basically I did all these spiritual things and you didn't get it right. And think about Job, how, so, if we're doing this false hope, we have to think about Job and how he followed God. He prayed for his children. He dedicated his children to the Lord every morning and every night. And he still wound up with that skin disease. Lost his kids, the first kids, lost his house, so we have to really not put God as God in the genie in the bottle with Christina Aguilera, or, that God is just some kind of magic wish list or something. I guess it would be God is a magic wish list. I never thought about that. But yeah, magic wish list. And then another thing we've taught ourselves, if we get my life together, God will send me a man. I mean, I think I've looked at people who I thought who had their lives together and they still hadn't gotten a spouse, or, life was not going the way that I thought it should have gone. They did all of this. Why is it not happening for them? That's so not fair. And then we think it too, because I can remember my 30s, or even earlier in my teenage years, I noticed, and even younger, I was taught with the Bill Gothard thing, under God's umbrella of protection, and all these are outside, and if you stay under God's umbrella of protection, you're fine. You know, that means you're going to be blessed with the greatest spouse, the greatest marriage. But even when I was younger, I noticed, like, I call them, like, the fast girls. Like, there were so many girls when I was about 10 or 11, or even earlier, that would get pregnant, have kids, and, you know, and they've had a bunch of kids. I'm like, well, I haven't had any kids, and I did everything right. Not married, haven't had any kids. You know, so you just have that moment of, like, well, God, I follow the rules. Why is this not happening for me? But then I'm wondering, like, well, maybe there's some things I need to learn, you know, that it's not an instant thing, you know. And I think, like, some of the charismatic stuff is that, you know, you do this right and God will do this, which still makes God a genie in the bottle, which he isn't. So we have to really be careful about how we make God the grant wisher. God's like, well, I mean, you can make free will, you know, as long as the person's not evil, nasty, and kind of profane. I guess he's okay. You know, but why don't we do that with jobs? Like, why can't we just be like, well, my life is together, I should get a job. Yeah. But I think it's more about, like, how do we put ourselves out there and experience and consistency. But anyway, yeah, we're just taught, like, when your life is together, everything should work out. You know, I remember people used to tell me, if you just wait on Liam, he will come. And I'm like, he will, if I build it, it will come? Is that like Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams? How do I build my Field of Dreams and my baseball stadium? How do I get all those men to line up and be like, hey, baby, what's up? Yeah, take me. It's like, crickets? Maybe it's in a cornfield? Where are they? Like, but yeah, it's just kind of funny, you know, like, if you build it, it will come. If you wait, it will come. I was like, I feel like I have, like, every, you know, some years of where I'm like, I like a guy, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, I peter out, I quit. I pity the fool, I'm done. You're like, oh, okay. Well, good to know. But, you know, I just think it just, you know, it's wrong to tell people, like, if your life is together, this will happen. I think it's more about, like, you keep going out there in life, and, I don't know, maybe if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Anyway. Oh, another thing is, like, the man will notice you because you got, like, the Boaz and the Ruth. You know, like, ooh, yeah, you make yourself looking real good, the guy will notice you. And I guess he does. I think if it's the right one, yes, he'll notice. But I feel like it's like a magic moment where if you do all these little things, the guy will notice you. You can try to get the guy to notice you. Maybe he will. If it's the right one. You know, but I think maybe it's more about season. I don't know how do you get a man to notice you? You're like, how do I get him to notice me? I think it's about, like, it'd be like the YouTube channel here. It'd like be like, I want more followers. But if I only do a video once a month, they're not going to follow me. You know, it's sort of like the same thing with guys, I think or people in general. Like, you don't wait for people to become your friends. You go out there and you make friends. You know, at least you try to make connections. You know, you might not, like, instantly have a friend from wherever. You just have to consistently be out there. So I think it's about consistency and not about, you know, he'll drop from your lap or whatever. Or they'll notice you. Like, you'll get friends if you notice. How do I notice that? You're like, what? Okay, I'll try that. Oh, okay. And then another thing, I think that might be it on just some of the myths, but I think it's like, well, you weren't a hussy out there, so, you know, you should have a man before all these other people out there that's been not following God's rule. I don't know. Then I guess the Field of Dreams was like, I was thinking about build it, it will come. Like, if you do all these steps, you cook right, you clean right, you should get a man. But I don't know. But I'll probably do some more videos on myths because There's so many myths out there, but I thought I would be consistent today and just keep making videos. But anyway, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and maybe think of some other myths you can think of that people say about dating and not dating. Like, how do you find a man without dating? I wish there was a way. I wish, you know what, arranged marriage would work. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and have a great Sunday.